Let's talk Tide. Of course, the SEC meetings were in Destin this week, and Kalen DeBoer and the rest of the crew from the SEC, the coaching contingent there, talking about some big topics as they typically do, but maybe a little bit bigger than usual because, man, there's so much going on with the NCAA and the SEC making its power play to kind of get as much influence over the sport as possible, put the sport in the right direction. Also, of course, SEC coaches talking about big matchups with the Big Ten and possibly making that more of a regular occurrence. Was there anything that Kalen DeBoer chimed in on that seemed to catch your ear?
I think the one thing that Coach DeBoer talked about was just his excitement about year two of being in this program, right? Year one was tough for him. It was a transition of you're filling in the shoes left behind by one of one, that being Nick Saban, the greatest to ever do it, and how big of a transition that was for him, especially in terms of the buy-in from players, the buy-in from fans, the buy-in from basically everybody. And, year one, he had some good moments, the big win over Georgia, big win over Wisconsin, big win over LSU, good win over Auburn. But he also had some rough moments, the loss to Vanderbilt, the loss to Tennessee, the loss to Oklahoma, of course, the loss to Michigan in the bowl game. So we saw different pictures of Kalen DeBoer, but he spoke with a big confidence at the meetings because he understands, okay, this time around, I have the buy-in from everybody. We've got a lot of talent here on this roster. I have my offensive coordinator and Ryan Grubb back with me, so that's going to be fun to watch and see what this offense becomes. The guys defensively have a year under Ken Womack under their belt, so now year two in this 4-2-5 defense should be a sight to behold here. Just a bit more of a confident Kalen DeBoer at the podium in SEC spring meetings after what he experienced year one.
Stephen, you're headed in the same direction that I am looking at the offense here, because I don't know that a lot of people on the national scene take into consideration that Kalen DeBoer had a certain style of offense, especially when they got it high flying there in that run to the national championship game with Michael Penix and that downfield passing game. And then to go from that and then to change his system that drastically to try to play to the strengths of one Jalen Milroe and just an entirely different skill set and different style of offense in regards to how much he would use the backs and so forth. But to have Ryan Grubb back as the OC seems to be, definitely a big plus.
It is. And then to have Nick Sheridan remain on staff as a quarterback coach. And I think that was huge as well. Sheridan played quarterback at Michigan under both Lloyd Carr and Rich Rodriguez. So he understands the changing of coaches, having different people in your ear, trying to glean and learn different things. Sheridan has experience with that. So to have him remain on staff as the quarterback coach and allowing Ryan Grubb to return to, with DeBoer, run this offense the way he wants to do that, it's exciting. And one of the things going back to spring practice that I saw, Mark, was more of a quarterback taking the ball from under center again and handing the ball off to the running back, some pro-style stuff right there. I miss seeing that this past season due to you have a Jalen Milroe who is just so versatile as a runner. He's so explosive as a runner that you want to have him do his thing, but it does take from the running backs that you recruit, right? You could see some frustration from a Justice Haynes last year, who's now at Michigan via the transfer portal now. You saw some frustration from a Jam Miller last year, who's at Alabama, back at Alabama, or Richard Young last year, who's back at Alabama. So as good as Milroe was running the football, as dynamic as he was, and now in the NFL looking to do something for the Seahawks, it's good to see Grubb in the fold at Alabama, getting you back to establishing that run game with your running backs.